Red warning lights flashed across the bridge of the UES Dauntless. Captain Han Do-young gripped his command chair as another blast rocked the massive warship. Through the main viewport, he watched Earth burn. "Status report," he called out, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "Hull integrity at 82%. Chief Engineer Kim Ji-ho answered from his station. "The new shields are holding, but we can't take many more hits like that one." The Dauntless was humanity's newest and most advanced warship, but right now it was also Earth's last hope. The Stellar Dominion's invasion had come without warning. Their massive fleet had torn through Earth's defenses like paper. Now, all that remained was the Dauntless and her crew of 300. "Captain," Communications Officer Yoon Soo-bin's voice shook slightly. "We're receiving distress calls from all major cities. The Dominion ships, they're not just attacking military targets anymore." Han's jaw tightened. On the tactical display, red dots representing enemy ships surrounded their home world. The Stellar Dominion had conquered thousands of worlds across the galaxy, but Earth was supposed to be different. Humanity had fought back harder than any species they had ever encountered. "Iris, show me our options," Han commanded. The ship's AI responded in its calm, feminine voice. "Analysis complete. Stellar Dominion forces outnumber us 47-1. Conventional combat scenarios show zero probability of victory." Security Chief Park Ta-jin slammed his fist on his console. "We can't just run. Earth needs us." "Wait," Kim Ji-ho called out suddenly. "Captain, the quantum drive is ready. It's not fully tested, but..." Han understood immediately. The quantum drive was their ship's secret weapon. Experimental technology that could change the nature of space warfare. But they had never attempted a real jump with it. Another blast shook the ship. Medical Officer Lee Mira's voice came through the comm system. "Sick bay to bridge. We have multiple injuries down here. Whatever we're going to do, we need to do it fast." Han looked at Earth one last time. His home. His world. But if they stayed, they would die, and humanity's last hope would die with them. "Listen up, crew," Han's voice carried across the ship-wide comm. "Earth may fall today, but humanity will not. We're going to survive, and then we're going to make the Dominion regret ever attacking our world." He turned to his navigator. "Choi Yun-ho, plot us a course away from Earth. Kim, prepare the quantum drive." "Course plotted, sir," Choi reported. "But the Dominion fleet is moving to intercept. Weapons Officer Nam, give us some cover." Nam Jin-woo's hands flew across his console, firing all batteries, "Captain." The Dauntless's advanced weapons blazed to life, catching several enemy ships off guard. The massive warship turned gracefully, its black hull reflecting the fires of battle. "Quantum drive at full power," Kim reported. "But sir, we've never jumped this far before. I don't know where we'll end up." Han nodded grimly. "Sometimes the only way to win is to change the rules of the game." "Iris, initiate quantum jump sequence." "Warning," Iris announced. "Quantum jump calculations contain multiple unknown variables. High risk of..." "Just do it," Han ordered. The stars around them began to blur. The bridge crew held their breath, as reality itself seemed to bend. The last thing they saw was a brilliant flash of light as Earth vanished behind them. The UES Dauntless, humanity's final warship, leaped into the unknown, and with it carried the seeds of an empire's destruction. The UES Dauntless drifted silently in the darkness of unknown space. Inside the ship's medical bay, Lee Miro worked tirelessly to treat the injured crew members. The quantum jump had been rough on everyone, throwing people against walls and floors when the artificial gravity briefly failed. "How many hurt?" Captain Han asked as he entered the medical bay. 12 with serious injuries, 30 more with minor ones," Lee replied while wrapping a crew member's arm. "But we got lucky, Captain. It could have been much worse." Han nodded and headed to engineering. He found Chief Engineer Kim Ji-ho studying data screens with intense focus. The engineer's usually neat uniform was dirty and wrinkled after hours of work. "Tell me something good, Kim," Han said. Kim looked up with bright eyes. "Captain, you won't believe what I found. When we made the quantum jump, something unexpected happened. The ship's structure changed." "Changed how?" "It's easier to show you." Kim picked up a metal tool and held it up. Then, to Han's surprise, he passed it right through the solid wall. The quantum drive didn't just move us through space. It changed the way our atoms work. We can phase through solid matter. Han's eyes widened. "The whole ship can do this." "Yes, but only for short periods. And here's the best part. We can still fire weapons while phased." The implications hit Han like a thunderbolt. Their ship could pass through enemy shields and armor like they weren't even there. The ship's AI spoke up. "Captain, Officer Yoon requests your presence on the bridge. She has found something important." On the bridge, Communications Officer Yoon Soo-bin was listening intently through her headset. "Captain, I'm picking up transmissions. The Stellar Dominion is here in this sector too." "Show me," Han ordered. A star map appeared on the main screen. Dozens of Dominion ships moved between local star systems. They were deep in enemy space. Security Chief Park Ta-jin studied the map. "This could work in our favor. They won't expect us here. With our new phasing ability, we could strike them where they feel safest." Navigator Choi Yun-ho spoke up from his station. "Sir, I figured out where we are. We're about 3,000 light-years from Earth, in a sector the Dominion calls the Shield Worlds. Their major defensive systems are here," Weapons Officer Nam Jin-woo added. "Supply lines, repair stations, training bases. We could do some real damage." Han walked to the viewport, watching distant stars shine. His crew waited for his decision. They were alone in enemy space, but they had a unique advantage. The Dauntless could appear and disappear like a ghost, striking where the enemy least expected it. "Iris, run a full system check. I want to know exactly what we can do with this phasing ability," Han ordered. "Analysis in progress," Iris responded. "Preliminary data suggests we can maintain phase state for up to 3 minutes at a time. Power requirements are significant but manageable." Han turned to face his crew. Their faces showed a mix of fear and determination. They had lost their home, but they hadn't lost their fight. "The Dominion thinks they've won," Han said firmly. "They think humanity is finished. But we're going to show them how wrong they are. We're going to be their worst nightmare, a ghost they can't catch, a weapon they can't stop." The bridge crew straightened in their seats. They were no longer just survivors. They were hunters now, and the greatest empire in the galaxy was their prey. The UES Dauntless moved quietly through space, running dark to avoid detection. On the bridge, Captain Han watched 3 Dominion warships harassing a group of civilian ships. The refugees were trying to escape, but they were too slow. "How many people on those ships?" Han asked. Yoon Soo-bin checked her readings. "About 200, Captain. They appear to be Narians. Their world fell to the Dominion 3 months ago." "The Dominion ships are charging weapons," Nam Jin-woo reported from his station. "They're going to destroy the refugee ships." Han stood from his chair. "Not today, they won't." Battle stations. Red lights flashed as the crew rushed to their posts. The Dauntless had been waiting for the right moment to test their new abilities. This was it. "Engineering, prepare for phase shift," Han ordered. "Weapons, target the lead enemy ship." "Phase drive ready," Kim Ji-ho reported from engineering. "Weapons locked," Nam confirmed. Han took a deep breath. "Begin phase shift. Take us right through their shields." The Dauntless shimmered and turned partly transparent. The massive warship accelerated toward the nearest Dominion cruiser. The enemy didn't even see them coming. "Phase shift stable," Iris reported. "Impact in 5 seconds." The Dauntless passed right through the enemy's shields like they weren't there. Nam fired all weapons at point-blank range. The Dominion ship's hull cracked open like an egg, unable to handle the assault. "First target destroyed," Nam called out. Moving to second target, the remaining Dominion ships finally noticed them. They turned to fight, but their weapons passed harmlessly through the phase Dauntless. Phase shift power at 60%, Kim warned. 2 minutes remaining. Han nodded. That's all we need. Nam, show them what our guns can do. The Dauntless's advanced weapons tore into the second enemy ship. With no shields to protect them, the Dominion vessel broke apart under the assault. The last enemy ship tried to run. They're calling for help, Yoon reported. Not happening, Han said firmly. Nam, disable their engines. I want that ship intact. Nam's precise shots destroyed the enemy's engines. The Dominion ship drifted helplessly in space. Phase shift ending in 10 seconds, Iris announced. The Dauntless returned to normal space just as their phase shift power ran out. The refugee ships had stopped running and were now watching in amazement. Captain, Yoon called out. The refugee ships are hailing us. They want to know who we are. Han smiled. Tell them we're from Earth, and tell them the Dominion isn't as powerful as they think. The bridge crew worked quickly to secure the disabled Dominion ship. Inside, they found valuable data about enemy positions and strengths. But more importantly, they found hope in the eyes of the rescued refugees. The Dominion, one of the Nerian refugees said later in the meeting room. No one has ever defeated their ship so easily. How did you do it? Let's just say humanity has a few tricks they haven't seen before, Han replied. And we're just getting started. The Nerians shared everything they knew about Dominion operations in the sector. With this new intelligence, the Dauntless could strike even more effectively. The Dominion took our world, Han told his crew that evening. But today, we saved 200 lives and showed that the Empire can bleed. This is just the beginning. The crew nodded in agreement. Their first real battle had been a complete success. The legend of the ghost ship that could not be stopped was about to spread across the stars. Yoon Soo-bin sat at her communications station, staring at her screen in surprise. For 3 days straight, she had been studying the strange patterns in the Dominion's transmissions. Now, finally, she understood. Captain, she called out. I found something big. Captain Han walked over to her station. What is it? The quantum drive didn't just let us phase through solid matter, Yoon explained excitedly. It also lets us tap into the Dominion's secret communication channels. I can read all their messages. Han's eyes widened. Show me. Yoon pulled up several messages on the main screen. The bridge crew watched as military orders, ship movements, and secret plans appeared before them. This is incredible, Security Chief Park said. We can know their every move before they make it. There's more, Yoon added. They're talking about us. The ghost ship that destroyed 3 of their warships. They're scared. Han smiled. This was exactly what they needed. Iris, can we use this to find their weakest points? Analyzing Dominion communications now, the AI responded. They have a fuel depot in the next system. Minimal defenses. Destroying it would strand 37 enemy ships. Plot a course, Han ordered Navigator Choi. It's time to show the Dominion what real fear feels like. Over the next week, the Dauntless struck like lightning. They would appear out of nowhere, destroy their target, and vanish before help could arrive. The crew worked like a well-oiled machine. Fuel depot destroyed, Nam reported after their latest attack. Enemy ships are stuck in port with empty tanks. Military base shields disabled, Kim called out during another raid. Their weapons are useless against our phase shift. The Dominion's responses got slower and more confused with each attack. They couldn't figure out how one ship could cause so much damage. Captain, Lee Mira said during a quiet moment. The rescued Nerians are asking to help. They want to fight back too. Han thought about this. The Nerians weren't warriors, but they knew these sectors well. Have them work with Yoon. They can help us understand more Dominion messages. The partnership worked better than anyone expected. The Nerians knew all the local supply routes and hidden bases. With their help, the Dauntless's attacks became even more effective. One evening, Han found Yoon still at her station, reading more messages. "You should rest," he told her. "I can't, Captain," she replied. "Listen to this. The Dominion is pulling ships from 3 sectors to hunt us. They're calling us the Human Terror. We're actually hurting them." Han looked at the tactical map. Red dots showed all the targets they had destroyed. Each one made the mighty Dominion a little weaker. "Send a message to all nearby systems," he ordered. "Tell everyone that humanity is fighting back. Tell them that the Dominion can be beaten." "You want them to know it's us?" Park asked, surprised. "Yes," Han said firmly. "Fear works both ways. Let the Dominion be afraid of us, and let everyone else know that resistance is possible." The message spread quickly through the sectors. The story of one human warship fighting an empire gave hope to countless enslaved worlds. The Dominion's grip on power had never looked so weak. The Dauntless found the escape pod floating in empty space. Inside was a high-ranking Dominion officer who said his name was Commander Rax. He claimed he wanted to help them fight the Empire. "Why should we trust you?" Navigator Choi asked during the rescue. He didn't like the way Rax kept looking around the ship with hungry eyes. "Because I know the Dominion's greatest secret," Rax said. "I know why they fear humans so much." Captain Han ordered Security Chief Park to watch Rax closely. The Dominion commander was tall and thin, with gray skin that seemed to shine in the ship's lights. "Tell us what you know," Han said in the meeting room. "Humans are different from all other species," Rax explained. "You think in ways we cannot predict. You solve problems in ways we never imagine. The Dominion attacked Earth because they were afraid of what humans might become." Kim Ji-ho listened carefully from his seat. "Is that why none of your ships use phase shift technology?" "You couldn't think of it." "Exactly," Rax nodded. "Your ship does impossible things because human minds think impossible thoughts. Help me fight the Empire, and I can show you their weakest points." But while Rax talked, IRS was scanning him secretly. The ship's AI found something strange in his neural patterns. Late that night, after most of the crew was asleep, Rax snuck into engineering. He pulled out a hidden device and started working on the quantum drive controls. "Stop right there," Park's voice came from the shadows. Security teams appeared with weapons ready. "How did you know?" Rax asked, dropping his device. "Iris detected your neural implant," Han said as he walked in. "The same kind all Dominion spies use. You were sending messages to your fleet the whole time." Rax's friendly mask disappeared. His face turned ugly with hate. "You primitive humans. You think you can fight the Empire. We have ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. And yet you're terrified of one human ship," Han replied calmly. "You're right about one thing. We do think differently. We think about freedom, about fighting back against bullies like you. That's what really scares you. The Dominion will find you," Rax snarled. "They will destroy you." "No," Han said. "We will destroy them. And you just helped us do it." While Rax was talking, Yoon had traced his secret messages back to the Dominion fleet. Now they knew exactly where the enemy ships were hiding. "Put him in the brig," Han ordered. "Set course for the Dominion fleet's location. Let's show them what happens when they try to trick us." Later, Kim studied the device they took from Rax. "Captain, this is interesting. They really don't understand how our phase shift works. They were trying to copy it all wrong." "Good," Han replied. "Let them keep guessing. We have another advantage now. We know they're scared of human creativity. Let's give them more reasons to be afraid." The Dauntless jumped away into quantum space. They had survived the enemy's attempt to trap them. Now it was time to make the Dominion pay for their tricks. "Massive fleet incoming," Yoon's voice rang across the bridge. 50 Dominion warships just appeared on long-range scanners. Captain Han rushed to his station. The tactical display showed enemy ships spreading out in attack formation. At their center was a massive command ship twice the size of the Dauntless. "Message from the enemy fleet," Yoon reported. "It's It's High Admiral Vec himself. A cold voice filled the bridge. Human vessel, I am High Admiral Vec of the Stellar Dominion. Your attacks on our empire end today. The crew looked at their captain. Vec was the Dominion's greatest military leader. He had conquered hundreds of worlds. Now he had come to hunt them personally. Kim, how long can we maintain phase shift? Han asked quietly. 2 minutes at most, the engineer replied. Not long enough to fight all those ships. Han studied the tactical display. The enemy fleet was trying to box them in against a massive asteroid field, but maybe that was exactly what they needed. Choi, plot us a course through the asteroids, Han ordered. Nam, prepare all weapons. We're going to show the High Admiral why you don't trap a human in a corner. The Dauntless turned and accelerated toward the asteroid field. Behind them, Vec's fleet opened fire. Space lit up with energy beams and plasma torpedoes. Shields holding, Park reported. But we can't take much more of this. Almost in position, Choi called out. Asteroid field dead ahead. Han waited until the last possible second. Now, begin phase shift. The Dauntless turned ghostly and transparent. It flew straight into a huge asteroid and passed right through it. The pursuing Dominion ships had to break formation to avoid crashing. They're splitting up, Nam reported with excitement. The formation is breaking. Phase shift at 50% power, Iris warned. Han smiled. Nam, target the asteroids around us. Full weapons spread. The Dauntless's guns roared to life, but they weren't shooting at ships. They were shooting at asteroids. Huge rocks exploded into thousands of pieces, creating a deadly rain of debris. The Dominion ships couldn't phase shift like the Dauntless. They had to dodge or be destroyed. Ships crashed into each other trying to escape. Others were torn apart by flying rocks. Phase shift ending in 10 seconds, Kim warned. That's enough, Han said. Take us out above the field. The Dauntless emerged from the asteroid field unharmed. Behind them, Vec's mighty fleet was in chaos. 15 ships had been destroyed. Many more were damaged. Message from High Admiral Vec, Yoon reported. Her voice was shaking with joy. He's ordering a retreat. The crew cheered as the Dominion fleet turned and fled. They had just defeated the Empire's greatest admiral. Send a message to Vec, Han ordered. Tell him that next time he wants to trap a human ship, he should bring more ships. Later, as the crew repaired their battle damage, Park approached the captain. Sir, Vec will be back, and he'll bring an even bigger fleet. Good, Han replied. Because now the whole galaxy knows that the mighty High Admiral ran from a single human warship. The Empire doesn't look so powerful anymore. The Dauntless set course for their next target. They had won a great victory, but the real battle was just beginning. Nam Jinwoo sat in the mess hall, watching a recording of their battle with Vec's fleet. Other crew members gathered around him, talking excitedly about their victory. Look at how they crashed into each other. One crew member said, the mighty Dominion fleet running away like scared children. Nam stood up suddenly. Captain, I have an idea. He found Captain Han on the bridge, talking with Yoon about intercepted messages. Sir, what if we share our battle recordings with everyone? Show the whole galaxy how we defeated Vec. Han thought about this. The Dominion controls all news and information. They tell everyone they can't be beaten. Exactly, Nam said, but we can prove they're wrong. Officer Yoon can send the videos through their own communication channels. Yoon's eyes lit up. He's right. I can override their system. Every planet, every ship in 3 sectors would see Vec running away from us. Han smiled. This was the kind of creative thinking that made humans dangerous. Do it. Show everyone what really happened. The next day, Yoon and Nam worked together to prepare the message. They showed the Dauntless phasing through asteroids while Vec's mighty fleet crashed and burned. They showed the High Admiral turning and running away. Message ready, Yoon reported. Broadcasting now. The response was bigger than anyone expected. Within hours, reports came in from across Dominion space. On dozens of worlds, people were rising up against their rulers. The Dominion's guards found themselves fighting angry crowds. "Look at this," Park said, showing them a video from a Dominion colony. The people had painted their ships to look like the Dauntless. They were using them to chase away Dominion patrols. More messages coming in. Yoon called out, "3 systems have declared independence. Their defense forces are turning against the Dominion." Kim rushed onto the bridge. "Captain, you need to see this. The Narian refugees we rescued. They're calling their people to war. They say if one human ship can fight the Dominion, their whole species can too." Han watched the reports flood in. The Dominion had ruled through fear for thousands of years. But now, people weren't afraid anymore. They had seen the truth. The Empire could be beaten. "Sir," Iris spoke up, "Dominion ships are retreating from 12 systems. They don't have enough forces to control the rebellions." The crew gathered on the bridge, watching as years of Dominion control began to crack. Their single ship had given courage to millions. "It's not just about beating them in battle," Han said to his crew. "It's about showing everyone that they can resist, that they can fight back." The Dominion's greatest weapon was fear, Lee Mira added. "We just took that away from them." More reports kept coming. A Dominion garrison surrendered to civilian protesters. A fleet of merchant ships broke through a blockade. Everywhere, people were fighting back. "Send another message," Han ordered. "Tell everyone that humanity stands with them. Tell them that together, we can end the Dominion's rule forever." The Dauntless had started something bigger than themselves. They had sparked a fire of rebellion that was spreading across the stars. And no empire, no matter how ancient or powerful, could stop it now. "I found it." Yoon's voice was filled with excitement. The location of the Dominion's central command. The bridge crew gathered around her station. On the screen was a massive space station hidden inside a red giant star. The Dominion's leaders controlled their empire from this secret base. Their shields are powered by the star itself. Kim said, studying the data. "No normal ship could get close." "Good thing we're not normal," Han replied. He turned to his crew. "This is our chance to end the Empire once and for all. Who's with me?" Every hand on the bridge went up. They had come too far to stop now. "Iris, can we phase shift inside a star?" Han asked. "Calculating." The AI responded. "Yes, but we will have only 90 seconds before the heat becomes dangerous." Park pointed at something on the screen. "Look at those transmission towers. They use them to send orders to every Dominion ship and base. If we can capture those towers," Nam added, "we can send our message to the entire Empire at once." Han nodded. This was their biggest mission yet. The Dauntless would have to phase through a star, break into the most secure station in the galaxy, and broadcast the truth to trillions of beings. "All hands, battle stations," Han ordered. "This is what we've been fighting for." The Dauntless jumped into position near the red giant star. The massive ball of fire filled their view screen. Inside it, hidden from the rest of the galaxy, was their target. "Phase shift ready," Kim reported. "Weapons armed," Nam added. "Begin recording," Han told Yoon. "Everyone needs to see what happens next." The Dauntless activated its phase shift and dove straight into the star. Even with their advanced technology, the crew could feel the incredible heat. Warning lights flashed across every console. 60 seconds until critical temperature, Iris warned. Through the fires of the star, they saw the station. It was huge, bigger than any space structure they had ever seen. But its mighty shields meant nothing to their phase shift technology. 30 seconds. The Dauntless passed through the station's outer walls. Inside, they found confused Dominion leaders running in panic. Nobody had ever reached their secret base before. "Station security systems detected," Iris reported. "They are ineffective against phase shift. 10 seconds to critical temperature." "Now, Nam," Han ordered. The Dauntless dropped its phase shift just as they reached the transmission towers. Nam's precise shots destroyed the security systems. Park's teams transported onto the station, securing the control rooms. Broadcasting on all frequencies, Yoon announced. Every screen, every communication device in Dominion space is receiving our signal. Han stood before the camera. Behind him, Dominion leaders were being led away in chains. His voice would reach every corner of the Empire. People of the galaxy, he began, the Dominion has lied to you. They ruled through fear and secrets. But today, we expose those lies. Today, we show you that freedom is possible. As Han spoke, rebellion broke out across thousands of worlds. The mighty stellar Dominion, which had ruled for 10,000 years, began to crumble in a single day. 3 days after the broadcast, High Admiral Vek's personal ship arrived at the captured Central Command Station. This time, he came not to fight, but to surrender. The mighty admiral walked onto the Dauntless with his head bowed. Captain Han waited for him in the main hall, surrounded by his crew. I have commanded fleets for 200 years, Vek said quietly. I have conquered 1,000 worlds. But never, in all that time, did I see anything like your ship and your crew. We didn't win because of our ship, Han replied. We won because we fought for freedom, something your empire never understood. Vek nodded slowly. The Dominion is finished. Half our worlds have declared independence. The rest are in open rebellion. It all happened because of one human warship. Reports were still coming in from across the galaxy. The Narians had taken back their homeworld. The merchant fleets had formed a free trade alliance. Even the Dominion's own soldiers were laying down their weapons. Captain, Yoon called from her station. Message from Earth. Everyone on the bridge froze. They hadn't heard from their homeworld since the day they fled. Put it through, Han ordered, his voice shaking slightly. A familiar face appeared on the screen. The leader of Earth's resistance. Behind her, they could see the ruins of a city being rebuilt. We got your message, she said, smiling. When the Dominion forces heard what happened at their central command, they ran away. Earth is free again. The crew cheered. Their long fight had saved not just their own world, but countless others. Later that day, Han gathered his crew in the ship's main hall. I'm proud of all of you, he said. We faced the greatest empire in history with just one ship, and we won because we never gave up hope. Kim stepped forward. The quantum drive that saved us. We're sharing the technology with other worlds. Soon, everyone will have ships that can phase shift. The Narians have invited us to help them build a new government, Lee added. One based on freedom, not fear. Vek, who had been quietly watching, spoke up. For 10,000 years, the Dominion feared what humans might become. Now I understand why. You don't just fight harder than other species, you inspire others to fight too. Han looked around at his crew. Engineers, doctors, soldiers, ordinary humans who had done something extraordinary. We're going to help rebuild, he announced. And then we're going back to Earth. Our real mission is just beginning. 1 month later, the Dauntless prepared to leave the former Dominion Central Command. Hundreds of ships from newly freed worlds gathered to say goodbye. They flashed their lights in salute as the human warship passed. Course set for Earth, Choi reported from his station. Take us home, Han ordered. As they jumped into quantum space, Han thought about everything that had happened. One ship had changed the galaxy forever, not through superior weapons or technology, but through courage, creativity, and hope. The story of the Dauntless would be told for generations, how a single human warship made an entire empire kneel, and in doing so, set 1,000,000 worlds free.